Hey, I'm Chloe. I am a C6 incomplete quad. I have limited hand function, and I'm going to show you just some little things that I use to help with my general day-to-day getting ready. Here's some of my makeup that I'm going to show you how I put on. That little pink thing I showed you is called a safe sip. It's actually something you use to put over a drink to stop you from spilling it. But I've discovered that the silicone really helps open up lids like my foundation bottle I just showed you. So when I put my foundation on, I tend to use this blending sponge, and because it's squishy, it helps me get a good grip, and I can do that all over my face. I tend to use my mouth to open things if I'm trying to be fast. Here I'm just holding the lid in between my first finger and my thumb because I can get an okay grip. I kind of just squish it in there, and I'm able to put my concealer on. Believe me, I'm no makeup expert. This is just a few little things that I do with my daily routine. I'm going to get that beauty blender again, and I'm using the opposite end just to get close to my eye. I don't really want to get the makeup in my eye. So, and again, as you can see with my hand function, I'm able to squish that in between my first finger and my thumb again, and really press it into my face and get a bit better stability that way. So I use my mouth sometimes to open certain products. There's other things you can do. So if you get a bit of blue tack, I find, and just put on the open close part of the product, it stops it from fully closing. So then you can open it a bit easier. That will only really work with pressed powders, I suppose. If you've got something loose, you won't want your product to be sitting open in your makeup bag. You can also use a bit of masking tape in between the seal, and if you leave it just hanging out, kind of like a tongue coming out of the opening, it allows you to get a bit of a grip and you can open it a lot easier. Now I've got my brush for my bronzer or blush. This one I've kind of got in between all of my fingers because the brush is a lot thicker. So I'll hold things differently depending on whether the brush is thin or thick. Sometimes I put things between my third and my fourth finger, sometimes between my thumb and my first finger. So it really depends on the size of the brush and the product. And I kind of just play around with things. Nothing's right or wrong. And everyone's hands are different depending on your disability, depending on your function. So it really is playing around, but you will figure it out. So like I said, this brush is a lot thinner and I need a lot more stability because I'm trying to put my eyeshadow on so it's on a much smaller surface as well, my eyelid. So this is a good example of how I hold it between my third finger and my fourth finger, and that's just really good stability for this particular task. It allows me to have good control so I don't make too many mistakes. See just how it's sitting between my third and my fourth finger there? But like I said, just play around. Sometimes your right hand will be better. Sometimes your left hand will be better. I tend to be more right hand dominant. So for my eyeliner and lip liner as well, I tend to always ruin the tip because I'll use my mouth to open the lid, and then as I take it out, it will sort of catch on the lid and I destroy them constantly. So I've got to be really careful with opening them. As you can see, just trying to get that eyeliner on. My left eye, I can sort of pull the skin and do it well because I use my right hand. But then doing my right eye, becomes a little bit more difficult because I'm just not as good with my left hand. So I do each eye differently because there's no rules. You just do what works. And the mascara, using my mouth again. So if you didn't want to use your mouth to open products like that, grab one of those safe sips, and the silicone just gives you a really good grip. Or you could leave your products not fully closed. So sometimes I won't fully close my mascara because it's just harder to open the next time. So you don't want to leave it completely open because it'll dry out, but you could always leave it just not tightly twisted on. Just leave it sort of half twist off. And again, this one, I don't need a lot of pressure. So I'm just holding it between my first finger and my thumb because I don't need, I'm not trying to put on forcefully. It's just an easy kind of just easily putting it on my eyelashes. So this eyebrow pencil, again, a small product. It's quite thin, so I put it between my third and my fourth finger, and that allows me to get that better stability because I'm pushing down, unlike the mascara where I didn't need to push down. Yep, so that grip gives me great stability. This is the lip liner that I was saying I destroy every time. So you'll see as I pull it out, I'm trying to do it slowly. Yep, it's destroyed. Really need to sharpen that, but I'll do that later. So this one's between the third and the fourth finger. Extra stability. Try and get it on the lip line. I never used to use lip liner, but I've discovered with my makeup tutorials, by watching some makeup tutorials online, that it really does just give it a good outline before putting lipstick on, and gives your lips a nice fuller look. So that's definitely possible if you can kind of squeeze that between certain fingers that give you stability. You can see I'm using my right hand like everything, just pushing that on properly. And the lipstick. So this one's just kind of a gloss, lipstick gloss. I find these a bit easier to use because being more liquid allows you to get a lot of color without putting much pressure down. So I can just use my first finger and my thumb for this. Get in all the corners, touch it up. That's what's great about the lip liner. Done. Close it without trying to smudge my lipstick. Makeup is finished. All right, I'll just show you how I do my hair with this Dyson Airwrap. It is a fantastic product for quads and any kind of limited hand function. They all come with this leather mat, which I use to put on my lap because I don't want to burn myself. I get my bum forward because I find if I sit in this slouch position, it gives me way more stability than if I was sitting up straight. So I can get my arms up a bit higher because I'm not relying on my core muscles to do any work because they don't do much work. So really, all I have to do is section little bits of hair. The Airwrap manages to catch the hair using the hot air, and it just spins it around. So I don't need dexterity to use this. I just need to grab the bit of hair I want and feed it in. It is really easy to use. Now, shoes. I love these Hickeys elastic shoelaces. I put them on all my sneakers. I also tend to wear a lot of Vans because I just find they're a bit of a wider fit and I can put them on really easily as a quad with limited hand function. So as long as you've got that tongue sticking out, you can just slip it over your foot, do a bit of a wiggle, push it up, and it goes on so easy. Not having to worry about fiddling with laces. And the elastic laces you can put on as tight or as loose as you want. I mean, I'm not going running anywhere, so I put them on a bit looser just to make them easy to put on. But they're also not that loose where they're just going to fall off if my feet move around on the foot plate. There you go. Very easy. So that's just a few things that help me get ready for the day. And hopefully I can show you some more things later on. Here's just showing you what I was talking about before with the blue tack and using the safe zip to open things. So I hope that's helped you. Like I said, just try things out. All right, thanks guys, bye.